Ever wondered why your mouth waters at the mere thought of your favorite dish? Or why your heart races when you hear the sounds of a siren? These are not random reactions, but results of a psychological process known as classical conditioning. Picture this: a renowned Russian physiologist, Ivan Pavlov, is working with dogs, studying their digestion. He notices something peculiar. The dogs begin to salivate, not only when they taste food, but also when they see the person who usually feeds them. Intrigued, Pavlov sets out to investigate this phenomenon, and in doing so, lays the groundwork for our understanding of classical conditioning. Classical conditioning is a learning process that occurs when two stimuli are repeatedly paired together. The first stimulus is unconditioned, meaning it naturally and automatically triggers a response. In Pavlov's case, the unconditioned stimulus was the smell of meat, which naturally caused the dogs to salivate. This is the unconditioned response. Pavlov then introduced a neutral stimulus, a bell. Initially, the bell had no effect on the dogs. However, when he began to ring the bell just before presenting the food, an interesting thing happened. After several pairings of the bell and the food, the dogs started to associate the sound of the bell with food. Eventually, the dogs began to salivate simply at the sound of the bell, even when no food was present. This is where we see the heart of classical conditioning. The bell, initially a neutral stimulus, had become a conditioned stimulus, triggering a conditioned response, salivation. The dogs had learned to associate the bell with the food and had started to behave as if the bell was the food itself. But why does this matter? Well, classical conditioning helps explain many of our everyday behaviors and emotional responses. It's why we may feel happy when we smell a particular perfume associated with a loved one, or why we might feel anxious when we visit a dentist's office, associating it with past discomfort. It's a fundamental concept that underpins much of human and animal behavior. In summary, classical conditioning is a process of learning by association. It involves pairing an unconditioned stimulus that naturally triggers a response with a neutral stimulus. After repeated pairings, the neutral stimulus becomes a conditioned stimulus, triggering the same response. This simple but powerful concept, discovered by Ivan Pavlov, has shaped the field of psychology and continues to influence our understanding of how we learn and respond to the world around us. So the next time your heart skips a beat at the sound of a loved one's voice, or you feel a rush of adrenaline when you see a flashing police light, remember, it's all down to classical conditioning.
Please like and subscribe and follow us at www